Hello everyone and a warm welcome to today's cricket action of the DPL. We have the Sulonian Spartans facing off against the GE Roaring Tigers, and currently it's the end of the power play. 6 overs gone. The Spartans are 43 for the loss of 2 wickets. It has been an eventful first 6 overs with the Spartans beginning with a flurry of boundaries, only to have a squeeze set up on them by the Tigers, which yielded them 2 wickets in the process. And now we are at the end of the mandatory field restrictions. 6 overs done, 43 for the loss of 2 wickets. And once again, my name is Delvin and I'll be taking you through the course of this game. The new bowler, and now as you know, at the end of the field restrictions, the field can be spread. So this is the time for the Spartans to consolidate after losing 2 wickets within the first 6 overs. Sanjay, the new bowler, to start his spell. And Abhinav is the batsman on strike. Nicely played off the back foot, and the ball stops and the batsmen come back for a comfortable couple. About the ball, it was a little bit on the shorter side, but on the slower end of the spectrum, so enough time for Abhinav to just rock back off the back foot and cut it towards the deep. Eventually gathers for 2 runs. Here comes Sanjay. Hopeful appeal, but nothing doing, says the umpire. They eventually scamper for a leg by. Much fuller on the stumps, but just a little straighter. Looked to be missing the stumps. But a good comeback from Sanjay after bowling the first one a little short and a little wide outside the off stump. Nirdosh on strike. Sanjay to bowl his 3rd ball of the over. There he goes. Once again, hits the pad, beats the keeper, and they come back for 2. Couple of more leg byes taken by the Spartans. Sanjay is bowling the right line, but he's bowling a little too straighter. So the ball is clipping the pad. Once again, that's a good shot. And that's 6. Rocks back. Right of the middle of the blade. And Nirdosh is turning the heat on Sanjay. 50 comes up for the Spartans. 54 for the loss of 2 wickets. We are in the 7th over. Kept low, but Nirdosh was up to it. Swivels, connects, 6. Sanjay needs to reassess his game plan here. Here he comes. Again rocks back, but this time does not get the timing that he wishes for. Comfortable single. Nirdosh currently batting on 20 of 14 deliveries. His partner Abhinav, 8 of 7. Sanjay to finish his over. Here he comes. Solid in defense from Abhinav. That brings the end of the 7th over. 55 for the loss of 2 wickets. A couple of leg byes sneaked, a couple of runs, a 6, a single, and ends the over with a dot ball. A fair over by Sanjay, barring that 6. So, a little give here and a little take there. But Chitranjan comes back for his 2nd over. Had an expensive first over, 10 runs conceded. He'll be looking to improve on those numbers a bit in this particular over, given that the field restrictions are now up and the field is well spread. Nirdosh on strike. Nirdosh has been looking good ever since coming on to bat. He'll look to continue the momentum and will look to take Chittaranjan on. Here comes the first ball of his second over. Swings but does not get the connection. Straight back to the bowler. There's a sweeper on the deep on the offside. There's a third man on the offside for protection. Swing and a miss once again. So Nirdosh has made his intentions very clear that he is going to go for the jugular. He is going to be aggressive. He's going to keep playing his strokes. And therein lies the opportunity for the Tigers as well. Here comes Chittaranjan. Oh, that's a good ball. Shot up a bit. Too short for the cut shot. And goes into the gloves of the keeper. So while Nirdosh has made his intentions very clear that he is going to attack, here comes Chittaranjan again. Charges. Connects. There is protection at the deep, so that's just a single. So now that the Tigers know Nirdosh's intention to attack, I think therein lies the opportunity for them to lay the trap. It will be very interesting to see how Tigers approach that. Meanwhile, Abhinav to face Chittaranjan. Again, too close to cut there. Right at the body, around that fourth stump length. Abhinav did look to get the cut, but was beaten all ends up. It's a very impressive over from Chittaranjan. Look to finish it. And finishes with a single. Just 2 runs conceded of this over. Much better over from Chittaranjan. The end of 8 overs. It's 57 for the loss of 2 wickets for the Spartans. Good lengths from Chittaranjan in this over. He's kept it nice and tight. Did not allow Nirdosh to get the better of him. Nirdosh has been the aggressor among the 2 batsmen out there. So it'll be very interesting to see what Abhinav on strike. Sanjay comes back for his second over. Plays it down the ground. That's a quick single. That's a very, very good single. Good running between the wickets there. Putting pressure on the fielders. That is something that you would want to do in the middle overs when you're not getting the boundaries, especially after an over where there were no boundaries and just 2 singles. So strike rotation becomes very, very important. And that is exactly what Abhinav has done. Quick single down the ground, putting pressure on that fielder, the close-in fielder, and brings Nirdosh on strike. Good shot this. That's a beautiful shot. Driven through the covers. Fielder gives chase, but the ball wins. That's a boundary. So Nirdosh continuing to attack from the other end. He moves on to 25, does Nirdosh. That was full, almost bordering to the half volley length. Gives himself a little bit of room. Frees his arms. And beautifully driven through the offside for 4. Sanjay once again. Sanjay to Nirdosh. Oh, that kept low. That kept low. That took Nirdosh by surprise. So the pitch playing tricks here. Some balls keeping eye high, some balls keeping low. And a little bit of a concern for the keeper there. He's got hit. Let's hope that he is okay. And it's just a precautionary measure. They've called for medical help. So the pitch looks a little bit on the uneven side. It'll be very, very interesting to see how the batsmen approach this, because we've seen a ball bounce a bit and then we've seen the ball keep a little low. That was very, very close to the stumps also, mind you. So a little bit of a break there for the sides. The Spartans will look to continue this approach, and especially they will be dependent on Nirdosh to give them that impetus to keep accelerating from one side, and meanwhile Abhinav on the other end, unbeaten on 10 of 11 balls. He will look to be the sheet anchor here. He'll look to keep things steady. He'll look to keep his wicket on one side, and these two batsmen will probably look to consolidate their position in this game for the next 4 to 5 overs. This is the DATS Premier League. Sulonian Spartans facing the Roaring Tigers. Just so you know, the Roaring Tigers winning the toss and electing to bowl first. I think looking at the pitch and looking at some of the balls that have been uneven in nature, they will be looking to bowl much better. There have been spells like in the power play, there was a span of 3 overs where they didn't concede a boundary. So they have been doing that. They need to do that for a prolonged period so that they can put the brakes on the Spartans innings that is looking to be free flowing. They're scoring at 7.29 an over. We're in the 9th over. It's 62 for the loss of 2 wickets. The Tigers keeper continuing to get medical attention as we speak. And we are back to live action. The keeper looks fit and ready to go. The umpire waiting for all of them to get in readiness before we kickstart proceedings once again. And here we are. Sanjay to bowl his 4th ball of the over. That's a lovely shot. In the slot. That's gone. That is gone. That has gone a long, long way. Nirdosh turning on the heat here for the Spartans. That was right in the slot, asking to be hit, and Nirdosh did not need a second invitation to go for the full Monty. He moves on to 31. The score motors along to 68 for 2. And this is looking to be an expensive over. 11 runs so far and still 2 balls to go. Spartans will fancy their chances to get a good over this. What will Sanjay do here? That's another good looking shot. Just in front of the fielder, they get a single. A similar ball right in the slot. Nirdosh will be a little bit miffed that he wasn't able to get a similar connection to the previous ball. But it still gets a single. Sanjay to Abhinav, and Abhinav now gets into the party. That's a brilliant shot, stylish, well over the offside for 6. This is an extremely expensive over here. 2 sixes and a boundary. That's a lovely ball to be hit, asking to be hit there. Hold that pose. Beautifully struck. A half volley just outside the off stump. That's a clear invitation for the batsman to take the bowler on. And take the bowler on did Abhinav do. Beautiful extension of that bat swing. 6 runs. 9 overs gone. 75 for the loss of 2 wickets. 18 runs coming off this over. 18. That's a massive, massive over given the circumstances. Just the over that the Spartans were looking for. Nirdosh now on strike. Facing Nirdosh will be looking to continue where they left in the previous over. Here he comes, gives the charge, but the bowler strays down the leg side, and that is rightfully called a wide by the umpire. The Spartans will be very happy with where they are at this moment. 76 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 9 overs. They'll be looking to push on. Chitranjan, that's a good ball. That's a good ball. Cramping Nirdosh for room. So despite the uneven nature of the pitch, the Spartans are motoring along quite nicely. And they will be looking to do that and put as much pressure as they can over the Tigers. Jenish is... that's edged very close to the keeper. The keeper was taken unawares. A genuine edge induced by Jenish, but Nirdosh gets off strike, brings Abhinav on strike here. That's close. Again, this is very, very good bowling from Jenish. It's a little bit skiddy, not giving the batsman enough room. Abhinav also gets off strike. So while the boundaries have not come in this over, they have maintained that rotation of strike. So the scoreboard keeps ticking along. But this is good bowling from Jenish, keeping it nice and tight on the line of the stumps and a little bit skiddy off the surface as well. Here comes Jenish once again. Again, Nirdosh looking for the big one. Does not get the connection inside edge, but gets a single. So 4 runs of the first 4 balls of this over. Good over given the circumstances for the Tigers. They'll hope that they do not concede a boundary in this over. Abhinav on strike. That's good bowling by Jenish, keeping it tight, keeping it on the stumps, not giving the batsman room to connect. Free his arms. 5 balls on this over. 4 runs conceded. They will look to keep it that way. He will look to end this over on a high. Here he comes. Jenish to Abhinav. And again, very well bowled. They will get the single. But that's a good over. Just 5 runs conceded. It's the end of the 10 overs. We're at the halfway stage. The Spartans 80 for 2. $80 for 2 at the halfway stage. This is a good platform for the Spartans, with Nirdosh taking the aggressor's role rather nicely, while Abhinav with that expansive 6 in the 9th over, also looking to get into the thick of things. They're playing like they have a score in mind, and I think that is what they're looking for. It's been a good batting performance so far by the 2 batsmen out there. Both of them scoring at above a run a ball. Nirdosh 34 of 25, whereas Abhinav 18 of 15. They will not mind this, the Spartans. Abhinav on strike. The new bowler. Arvind S, the new bowler, bowled his first over. Abhinav will face him. The Tigers will look to get in a few tight overs here to just stem the flow of runs. Here comes Arvind. That's wide. Yes, it is. was a little on the wider side. So we'll have to bowl that one again. Cuts. Gets a single. The ball a little wide of the off stump. Enough room for Abhinav to just free his arms and cut the ball through third man. Gets a single for it. Brings Nirdosh on strike. Nirdosh has been particularly aggressive against the spinners. It'll be very interesting to see what he does now that he's facing another spinner in the likes of Arvind. Here we go. And simple catch to the bowler. Is it? Is it? Yes, it is. That's gone. The ball's stopping. That is a good ball, and Nirdosh's innings comes to an end. He was looking good at 34. The ball stopping on Nirdosh, was looking to give the charge, but does not connect it at all. A gratefully acceptant return catch this. Happily accepts the offering this. And Nirdosh gone. Spartans lose their third wicket. Nirdosh was looking good. Was looking good for a big score, but unfortunately has to depart. 82 for 3. Arvind breaking this partnership just when it was looking to take the game away from them. And this is a much needed wicket for the Tigers in the context of this game. It felt like the game was slipping away from them a bit. But this wicket brings them right back into the contest, and now is a very, very good opportunity for them to put the squeeze on the Spartans, get in a few good balls, get in a few tight overs, and stem the flow of runs that have been going through for the past 3 overs or so. Abhishek, the new batsman. Arvind to continue. Abhishek taking his time to take strike. Here he is taking guard now. And Arvind to bowl. Oh, lovely ball there. Again, the ball is kept a little low. 2 different balls and 2 very, very different outcomes. The first ball coming on to Nirdosh. Steep bounce, and this one immediately after that wicket keeps low. So it'll be a good challenge for the batsman. That's it. Good ball. Good shot as well. Gets off the mark, does Abhishek with a single. Off to long off. Abhishek on Abhinav now on strike on 19 of 16. It's in the air, but there's no fielder in the 30-yard circle, so we'll get a single. So Abhishek moves on to 20 of 17. Very good over by Arvind so far. 3 singles and a wicket. Arvind to Abhinav. Oh, that's a good ball. Beaten. All ends up. Beaten. End of the over. 11 overs gone. It's 83 for 3. Two tight overs. 2 consecutive tight overs here. And this is what the Tigers were looking. This is what the Tigers were looking to restrict the flow of runs in this middle overs. And they would like to do it on a much more consistent basis here. Another 3 overs like this and they will be in the driver's seat. Jfsc to bowl his second over. appeal. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Leg buys signaled. Looked very close. Abhishek now on strike. Abhishek to face Jenish. That's a good shot by Abhishek. Full. Will get a couple of runs there. Good fielding. Quick gather and quick throw. A couple of runs. Full straight. Half volley-ish length. Abhishek gives himself a little bit of room. Oh, that's close. But good covering by the fielder at fine leg. Gets a single. Abhinav now on strike. Nicely clipped. And that's a beautiful stroke. For 4 runs. Abhinav gets a move on here. The ball was drifting onto the leg side, onto the pads. Nicely flicked. Bisects that gap between the keeper and the fine leg. Goes for 4. Good shot this. Very good shot indeed. Jerish will be looking to avoid bowling that length. Look to bowl a little straighter. That's a much better ball. That's an appeal. Nothing doing, says the umpire once again. There was an opportunity for a second run there, but the batsmen decide against it. Abhishek now to take strike. Oh, that's another good ball. But they get the single. That is the end of the over. Good over again by Jerish. Another over where a boundary has not been conceded. Oh, there was a boundary conceded. I beg your pardon. A good over except that ball, which is straying down the leg side. They will be looking to avoid bowling such balls, especially given that they're looking to get a foothold into this game after the fall of Nirdosh's wicket. Here comes Abhishek to face it. And that's a good shot. That's straight. And that's... six, signaled by the umpire. Slog sweep straight over the bowler's head. Goes all the way. So Abhishek getting into the act. Smart cricket this. Gets quick single after the 6. So the pressure is squarely back on the bowler. 6 of the first ball. Always a boundary of the first 2 balls of the over will put pressure on the bowler to improvise, to get his lengths in order, and that is the chance. There, once again, another tap and run, a quick single there. So this is good batting, putting pressure on the fielders. Getting those runs and getting that scoreboard moving. Again, another tap and run. This is very, very intelligent batting here from both Abhinav and Abhishek. Again, just when it felt like the Tigers were getting things under control, the Spartans come roaring back. 103 for 3. The 100 comes up in this over. Another single taken off. 10 runs of this over. 6 of the first ball and 4 singles thereafter. This one's given a leg bye, but it will go into the team total. 10 runs of 5 balls. A good over for the Spartans. 104 for 3. Last ball of the 13th over to be bowled by Arvind. Abhishek on strike. Gives the charge that is in the air, and that's into the hands of the fielder. So the trap had been laid, the bait had been put forward. Abhishek goes for the slog sweep once again, gets the elevation but not the distance, and that's a comfortable catch in the deep. That's the loss of the 4th wicket. 13 overs in. The Spartan 104 for 4. Abhishek has to depart. So again, just when it felt like the Spartans were just taking a bit of control, the Tigers come back with a wicket. The roaring Tigers indeed. They roar back after every setback. And they will be looking to continue this now. They have clipped in with wickets at regular intervals. They will be looking to have just that little bit more of control over proceedings with the ball. They'll be looking to avoid conceding boundaries. They'll be looking to avoid conceding those big hits. They wouldn't mind the singles at this stage. And that is exactly what they will be looking for. So Arvind gets his 2nd wicket. 2 overs, 13 runs, 2 wickets for him. It's a good spell. Going at 6.5 an over. Amid all this, Abhinav still there outside, right there in the middle. I think the onus of the Spartans' innings rests on Abhinav's shoulders. With 7 overs to go from here, the score will probably go where Abhinav takes them. So it is up to Abhinav to decide whether he continues playing the role of the sheet anchor or he decides to change gears and switch gears and go on the attack a little bit. No, yes, no, a hesitation, but they eventually scamper across for a single. Abhinav ball watching there a little bit, but eventually makes his ground safely. Jenish to continue bowling his 3rd over. Meanwhile, the new batsman out is Abhinav C. The batsman on the other side is Abhinav S. Abhinav C to take strike for his first ball of his batting innings. There is a long off. There's a long on. There's a sweeper. Deep cover. Sweeper on the offside. So Abhinav C. Jerish gets off the mark immediately, straight away. That's a good quick single. A good quick single. Smart rotation of strike this. Keeping the fielders on their toes are the Spartans with their good running between the wickets. Many instances that they have tapped and run, rotating the strike, and that's another single there. There have been many, many instances of good running between the wickets from the Spartans throughout the course of their batting innings, and that is why they are where they are in this current juncture with 107 for the loss of 4 wickets, seemingly comfortable position. And that's hesitation, and that's his. Oh my word! The last thing, just when I was talking about good running between the wickets, a brain fade here. Abhinav S was ball watching. Abhinav C had already set off, and by the time Abhinav S realized that Abhinav C was with him, it was a case of too little, too late, and that's half their side gone. Rather unfortunate sequence of events for the Spartans here. That's 2 wickets in 2 overs now, and 2 completely new batsmen at the crease. This is the opportunity that the Tigers were looking for, and they have got it. Oh, it's in fact Abhinav C who has to depart. Unfortunate, I beg your pardon. Mandar is the new batsman on strike. So Abhinav S have another batting partner with him. Appeal, big appeal, huge appeal. But the umpire says no, not out. And on the looks of it, it looks like a very, very good decision by the umpire. Just beating the batsman by a whisker there. But that's an excellent ball by Jenish. Gives the charge. That is a couple of runs. So another good over for the Tigers. They get a wicket and concede 5 runs. End of 14 overs. Spartans 109 for 5. Talk about the commentator's curse here. I was just talking about how well they ran between the wickets, and just rather almost immediately after I said that, they lose their wicket on a run out. So 14 overs gone, 109 for 5, 6 overs to go. What would be the score that the Spartans will be targeting? Would it be around 160 to 170? So they will have to pace their innings based on that. Mandar to play his first ball, and Arvind to bowl his third over. He's been pretty impressive. 2 overs, 13 runs, 2 wickets taken. Arvind will be looking to add the squeeze further in the Spartans, who seem to be losing their way after a rather promising platform that was there halfway through the innings. Oh, that's a good ball. Beating Mandar, all ends up. Arvind continuing his impressive spell with the ball here. Here goes Arvind. Tap and run. Single. Taken. Abhinav S now on strike. He's batting on 29 of 26. Oh, they haven't taken a run here. Beg your pardon. Mandar. Full toss. Does not connect. This time they get across for a single. I think it's safe to say that the entire onus of carrying the Spartans to a respectable and a competitive total rests on Abhinav at this moment. He's batting on 29 of 26. We'll have to shift gears sooner rather than later. Could this be the over where Abhinav decides to have a change in his approach in batting? He's looking at the field, composing himself, gathering his thoughts. Meanwhile, Mandar seems to have an issue with his gear. I think he's good to go as well. So, the onus is on Abhinav. Let's see what he does. Probably this would be the over that we would see a change in his intent. Let's have a look. Taps it straight to the bowler. Does Abhinav. Gives the charge and Abhinav is gone. That is another brilliant piece of bowling from Arvind. Gets his third wicket and Abhinav goes for 29. Arvind having a very, very good outing with the ball here. The Spartans lose their 6th wicket. Abhinav deciding to take the aerial route, puts on his dancing shoes but misses the trajectory of the ball altogether. The keeper does not make any mistake behind the stumps. Here, Arvind keeping the pace of the ball a little slower, deceives him all it ends up, and that's a good piece of keeping behind to get the bails off within a flash. Abhinav departs, that's the 6th wicket gone, and now the Tigers well and truly on top of this contest. 110 for 6. Arvind with another excellent over, just 1 run conceded and gets the wicket of the set batsman as well. So, the Spartans, should I say, a little bit of a sticky situation here. They will be a little disappointed with how the next 5 overs have gone after the halfway stage. They were looking well set and well on course for a good score. But a flurry of wickets here have hindered their progress. Arvind. Oh, that's a good shot, but no run for that. So, excellent over from Arvind. Just a single conceded. 15 overs gone, 110 for 6. 3 overs, 14 runs, just 3 wickets, just three big wickets, that too, including the set Abhinav S, who was the key to the Spartans' batting innings. Now, you have 2 comparatively new batsmen and Yogesh to bowl his second over. Mandar on strike. Last 5 overs of the batting innings for Spartans. A hopeful appeal, but nothing doing by the umpire. The umpires have been really good in this inning so far. They've taken stock of the situation, kept the match flowing, and have been on point with their decision making, so credit where it's due. So we are in the last 5 overs. The Spartans need to get a decent score on the board. A tap and run will bring Sandesh on strike. Now that Abhinav is gone, what is the score that they have in mind? What is the target that they will be looking for? A defendable target, a competitive target according to them. All depends on how many runs they get here. It's a good shot. Flicked it up the pads. They will be looking for 2 and they get 2. Sandesh gets off the mark. Yogesh, Sandesh once again. They will be looking, and that's just a single. Just a single there. Mandar on strike now. Yogesh bowling his second over. 2 balls left. Conceded just 9 runs. Not taken a wicket, but has been economical. Here we go. Ball number 5. Oh, that was very close to cut. Lucky to not get a feather on that is Mandar. Good gather by the keeper there. Oh, another swing and a miss. This time, fortunate enough to miss the stumps, but the harakiri ensures and they eventually get across a single. It was a good ball, missed the stumps. The keeper went for an attempted run out, but the deflection meant that there was enough time for the batsman to scamper across for a single. So we are 16 overs done. The Spartans are 115 for the loss of 6 wickets. Last 4 overs of their batting innings to go. They will be looking for a final flourish to get the score to a degree of competitiveness, and the onus of that rests on the shoulders of the 2 batsmen that are there on the middle, Sandesh and Mandar. And that is exactly what they're talking about. They will be talking about what score they have in mind, how many runs they will be needing in the next 4 overs to give their team a fighting total. Sandesh on strike. Arvind to complete his quota of 4 overs. He's been excellent so far. What can Arvind conjure up? What does Mandar have in his mind for this particular over? This is going to be a very, very crucial over in the context of this innings. Very, very interesting to see here. Arvind to Mandar. Here comes the first ball of this over. Good ball. Keeping it in the body line of the batsman, cramping him for room, not allowing him to go for the big shot. Arvind to continue. Mandar once again. Again, not. That is excellent bowling. He's not giving the batsman room. And he's not allowing him to get that big shot away. This is excellent bowling. 2 dot balls. The pressure mounts. The pressure mounts here. Mandar will have to do something. Arvind, Mandar, again. This time they get a single, but this is excellent bowling here. Excellent bowling. Just a single in the first 3 balls. Bring Sandesh on strike. Interesting to see what Arvind will do against the right-hander. Mandar struggling here. 3 of 10 balls. Sandesh, run a ball 3. Arvind to bowl his 4th ball. Sandesh facing. That's a good shot in the gap. And that's very well fielded out there in the deep. Will get 2 runs for it. But still no boundary. They need boundaries here at this stage. No boundaries. The Tigers will be happy with the single and the 2s. As long as they're not conceding a boundary. 2 more balls for Arvind to get done with his spell. An impressive one at that. Sandesh, Arvind. Good ball. Good ball. This is Arvind's last ball to finish. Impressive figures here. 3 wickets, 17 runs. Can he finish with a bang? That's a good shot. Will get a single. So Arvind finishes his spell. 4 overs, 18 runs, 3 wickets. 17 overs gone. The Spartans, 119 for 6. 3 overs to go. They will be looking to get at least 35 to 40 runs to get past that 150 run mark. Can they do it? Arvind, with his spell, was deceptive, was canny, was shrewd, altered his lines perfectly, deceived the batsman, got the wickets that he deserved. A very, very impressive bowling performance indeed. Sandesh. Oh, that's straight into the hands of the fielder. That's such an anticlimactic way to get out. This is the second instance of a cotton bowled in this innings, and the Spartans lose their 7th wicket here. Things not going according to plan for the Spartans. Sandesh departs. Yogesh gets his first wicket. 119 for 7. The ball was there to be hit. Yes, it was. Wasn't able to get neither the elevation, the distance, or the timing, and gives the return catch straight into the hands of Yogesh, who does not make a mistake in accepting that. Gratefully accepted. Thank you very much, says Yogesh. Very, very impressive bowling performance this by the Tigers. After being put under the cosh in the first 10 overs, they have come back superbly and now are dominating proceedings here. Rohan, the new batsman, out. Yogesh to continue his third over. Good ball that. Yogesh to continue. Rohan on strike. And that's in the air. Gets off the mark with a single. Very interesting batting stance this from Rohan. That expansive body movement before getting into the shot. Gets him a single, gets him off the mark. But singles and doubles won't do here for the Spartans. They need the big hits, and they made the big hits now. Mandar on strike. Mandar has had a tough time as well. A swing and a miss there. 11 balls for his 3 runs. It's a laboured innings, but can he get the acceleration that he needs and the team needs? Because there are just 14 balls left in the innings. The score is at 120 for 7. Yogesh to bowl his 5th ball of this over. Again a swing and a miss. This is excellent bowling here. 5 balls, a wicket, and just a single conceded. So this is really, really good bowling in tandem by the bowlers on either side. Just completely restricting the flow of runs. Yogesh to Mandar. Mandar, again, that's an appeal and it's given. That looked plumb, and that's a very, very good decision by the umpire, who indicates that it was hitting right in front of the stumps. It was full, it was straight. Yeah, there you go. It was full, it was straight. Went for the slog sweep, misses it completely, and that's right in plumb in front of the stumps. So, laboured innings this comes to an end. And that's the 8th wicket down. 120 for 8. 18 overs gone. 2 wickets in the over for Yogesh. And an excellent over to boot with just a single conceded. So this has been an excellent comeback from the Tigers in this second half of the first innings. After being put under the pump by Nirdosh's attacking innings, they have stopped the flow of runs and they have taken wickets at regular intervals and now find themselves restricting the Spartans to a below par total. But there are still 2 overs to go. Anything can happen in this game of cricket, which is filled with glorious uncertainties. Can the Spartans rally with a late fight back and a late surge of runs? They need that. The team needs that. Gurunath to bowl his 3rd over. Here he comes. Rohan taps that well. Gets a sing. Does he? Gets a single, does Rohan. Ankit on strike, the new batsman, to take guard, face his first ball. Surely the Spartans will be looking to reach 140 here. 19 runs away. But they need the boundaries. The boundaries haven't come. Boundaries hard to come by. Ankit taps it straight back to the bowler. Gurunath bowling his third over, conceding 13 runs, taking a wicket in the process as well. Here he comes. Again a swing and a miss. Oh, that's out. That is out. That's a good catch. Takes a feather, and that's the 9th wicket to fall. Rohan goes 121 for 9. Gurunath gets his second wicket. A very, very disciplined bowling performance this by the Tigers in the second half. Arvind leading the charge with his 3 wickets. Gurunath now getting his second wicket. And Yogesh, who took 2 wickets in the previous over as well. So Anand, the last batter, takes a single. Brings Rohan on strike. 122 for 9. 2 balls left for the end of the 19th over. Gurunath with the ball, 14 runs conceded, 2 wickets taken. He's into his third over. Rohan to take strike. The onus is on him to take them to a competitive total, and there he withdraws at the last moment. Something in his eye. We hope he is okay. Gathering his thoughts is Rohan, taking his guard once again as he readies to face Gurunath. 5th ball, Rohan taps, gets a single. Anand to face the last ball of this over. What will Anand do? Gurunath. Anand. Here comes Gurunath. Bowls it well and taps it back. Gets the single. 19 overs gone. The Spartans 124 for 9. The last over to go. Anand will face the first ball of that last over. And it seems like Yogesh will be the one to bowl, if I am not mistaken. It's Jenish who will bowl the last over. Correction. Jenish has also been impressive. 2 overs, given away 13 runs, not taken a wicket, but has been tight with his lines and lengths. Anand to face the first ball of that last over. 124 for 9 are the Spartans. How many can they get in this over? Here comes the first ball. And that's an appeal and not out, says the umpire, but the scamper through for a leg by. Score ticks along to 125. Rohan on strike now. There's bat involved. So Anand gets a run rather than a leg by. Rohan on strike. Jenish took a ball. Swings. Oh, that's a good ball. They're looking for a single, but eventually think against it. Rohan and Anand come in, exchange a few words. 4 balls left. How many runs can the Spartans get? Here comes Janish. Rohan to face. And he is knocked him over. It's all over. The Spartans conclude their innings, bowled out for 125. An excellent bowling performance capped by this wicket. Completely misses. Clips the stumps. And what better sight for a bowler than seeing the stumps dismantled. So the Tigers will be mighty pleased with their bowling efforts. After winning the toss and bowling first, they have restricted the Spartans to a score of 125. The equation for the Tigers is 126 to win with 20 overs. And I believe the Spartans will be a little bit disappointed with the way their innings ended. They started off rather promisingly. They were at a good place at the halfway mark of their batting innings. 80 runs, I believe, in 10 overs. But from there, it was an excellent display of bowling, conceding just 45 runs and taking wickets in regular intervals. Arvind leading the charge for the Tigers with his 3 for. Janish getting into the wickets with this. Yogesh also chipping in with 2. Gurunath gets 2. All in all, a very, very mighty, impressive bowling performance by the Tigers. 125 all out, the Spartans. 126 to win. Hello everyone, and we are back for the run chase. 126 to win for the Roaring Tigers. The openers make their way into the middle, and the Spartans with the ball will be looking to replicate the performance displayed by the Tigers itself. They have the runs on the board. It's their job now to defend them and put their bodies on the line for every single opportunity they get. Pranav and Dhawal are the openers, with Pranav taking strike. Ankit will kickstart proceedings with the ball for the Spartans. The required run rate for the Roaring Tigers will be 6.3 runs and over, which is fairly gettable. Depends on the start that they get in the power play, and it depends on how well that the bowlers approach this. They know what they have to play with. They know the situation very well, and they will be looking to restrict the Tigers to a low score in the starting first 6 overs, given that the field restrictions are in place. There is a deep cover on the offside, the fielder in the deep, and a third man, the two fielders. There are a couple of slips, and Ankit will kickstart proceedings with the ball here for the Spartans. And we're going to be here is the first ball of the run chase. Ankit to Pranav. Oh, beaten. Swing and a miss. Pranav seems to be making his intentions very clear from the first ball itself that he is going to go for the jugular. That's a good, nice start from Ankit. Good pace, good line, good length. Inciting the batsman to go for the big shot. Here's Ankit once again. Good bowling action this. And another good ball. He's picked that length and he's bowling there. That's 2 swing and misses for Pranav. Every ball. This is a very, very good start from Ankit. He's picked the right length and he's sticking to that length. Pranav. It'll be very interesting to see what Pranav does here now. He's missed 2 balls. He will obviously have this in the back of the mind that he does not want Ankit to dominate the proceedings and bowl as per his. And that's another good ball, and that's a very good take by the keeper as well. That ball was rising after the bounce. That's a good start. 3 balls, full length. It's a high-risk strategy from Ankit, but it has been paying off so far. Bowling it nice and full. Swing and miss, Pranav. Here comes Ankit for his 4th delivery. Same line, same length, and that is much, much better. So that's 4 straight dot balls in a row. This is a very, very good start from Ankit. He's backed Pranav into a corner here. What will Pranav do? Ankit will continue to look to dominate Pranav here. And here's the 5th ball of the over. Ankit to Pranav. Similar line length. That's another excellent ball. This is top quality pace bowling up front from Ankit. Good pace here. Making full use of the conditions on the pitch, and that is an excellent start. He will look to end the over on a positive note. Very, very crucial this for Ankit. Here he comes. Pranav to face him. Ankit delivers, and that is a maiden. Brilliant start to the bowling by Ankit. No score on the board, but no wickets either for the Tigers. A maiden over for Ankit first up. The equation remains the same, 126 runs to get, but 19 overs now, with the first over going for a maiden. Excellent first over. He picked his line, he picked his length, and bowled 6 deliveries consecutively at the same spot. Metronomical accuracy and brilliant pace to go with it as well. Excellent first start for Ankit. A maiden. And the Spartans will be looking to put that pressure on the other side. The bowling partner, whoever will be bowling this over, they will be looking to bowl and keep the pressure on, because they know they do not have a lot of runs to play with. So every run saved, every run stopped is going to be a massive, massive, massive boost. Chintan is the bowler from the other end to partner Ankit. And Dhaval will play his first ball of this run chase for the Tigers. Dhaval, a right-hand batsman himself. Chintan, the left-arm pacer, bowling over the wicket. Here comes Chintan. That's a good ball. Played well. A misfield, but that does not cause any loss of a run. So that's 7 straight dot balls now. Surely there must be a little bit of pressure creeping up. However, the run rate is still not out of their reach, so they can afford to play themselves in a little bit. But they will be looking to get off the mark sooner rather than later. Chintan with his second ball. Dhaval on strike. And is that call? Oh, that did get something off the bat. Or the pad, I beg your pardon. So that's 8 straight dot balls now. This is good bowling. The score hasn't got off the mark yet. Dhaval to face his third ball. Chintan to bowl his third ball. This is good bowling so far. But however, that previous ball strayed a little down the leg side. Chintan will look to bowl much straighter. Here comes Chintan. There it is. And gets off the mark. And that's 4. 4 runs. Bowls it a little short on the legs. Nicely picked by Dhaval. No protection at fine leg, so that ball races away to the boundary. And to make matters worse, that is a no ball. So a free hit here. Flashes it hard and wide, but gets a single. Went to hit it over the bowler in the V. Gets the edge. Goes to third man, gets a single. So that's 6 runs for no wicket. Brings Pranav back on strike, who's played 6 dot balls in the first over. Will be looking to get off the mark himself. Chintan comes in. That's been given as a wide. Straying down the leg side here. Chintan, after the first 2 balls, has got his angles a little wrong. He's got it a little iffy with his lines and lengths. Will be looking to correct that as quickly as possible, because they need to keep in mind that they do not have a lot of runs to play with. Any extras will be harmful for them. Here comes Chintan. That's a much better ball. And they take a quick single. And the overthrow. They get 2. Oh, they cannot afford overthrows, do the Spartans. A single was on, but no backing up means that they come for 2, and Pranav in the process gets off the mark himself. 9 runs without a wicket. We are into the second over of the run chase. 126 the target for the Roaring Tigers. Chintan. Pranav swings and a miss. Appeal. Hopeful shout. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Look close, but I think eventually the umpire has come to the right decision. Did beat Pranav, but was a little bit away from the edge. So Pranav lives to survive another day. Chintan to Pranav. Last ball of the second over. That's a flick. And that goes for 4. That's a beautiful shot. 2 boundaries in this over. An expensive one, this from Chintan. 13 runs in this over. So the end of 2 overs. Roaring Tigers, 13 for no loss. Pranav gets a boundary. So all the good work by Ankit in that first over coming a little undone here. An expensive first over for Chintan. The onus now back on Ankit to provide a sense of stability early on in this power play. 6 overs in. 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle as per the field restrictions. Dhawal to take strike for this ball. Dhawal facing Ankit for the first time in this game. Very interesting to see what Ankit's game plan will be against Dhawal. Will he stick with the same line or length, or will Dhawal, who's watched it, try to unsettle him? That's a good ball there. Very, very good ball. Gets his length a little short of a Dhawal, a little on the good length. Gets it. Beats the edge. So there is a subtle change of plans for Dhawal as far as Ankit is concerned. While he bowled full and just around the 4th stump length for Pranav, he's opting to go for a good length as far as Dhawal is concerned. Let's see if he continues to implement that. Second ball, yes, that is the same game plan. It is good length for Dhawal, and that is again good bowling this. Good bowling, tactical bowling this from Ankit. Basing his plans based on the opponent ahead. That's 8 straight dot balls for him. Really good display of pace bowling this from Ankit. Not got a wicket yet, but still keeping a lid on the scoring here. Here he comes. Another good length delivery. This time gets a single. Hit the field at mid-off, gathers. So there is consistency in his bowling. There is consistency in his execution. Overall, this has been a good 9 balls from Ankit. And he gets to bowl at Pranav once again. So will he change? Will he continue with this good length plan, or will he resort back to the full length bowling to Pranav? We'll find out soon enough. Here is Pranav. And that's full. And that's gone. Ankit is rewarded, gets his wicket, and rightfully so. And the Spartans strike first blood. Pranav gone. Bowls full. Pranav was looking to go for the full Monty there. Gets a leading edge. And that is comfortably gathered by the fielder at third man. Here it is. Full. Gives a little bit of room, but gets the leaning edge. And that's a comfortable grab by Rohan there at third man. So the first wicket down. And Ankit, rewarded for his excellent bowling here, gets the first wicket. Just what the doctor ordered for the Spartans. The new batsman walks in for the Roaring Tigers. It's Kedar. 112 runs needed for the Roaring Tigers. The required run rate still a very, very gettable 6.46. Kedar taking guard. Ankit now definitely has his tail up. He bowled an excellent first over. He's followed that up with a wicket in his second over. And now he will be looking to punctuate this performance with probably a couple of more wickets to get his team right back into the contest. New batsman Kedar. What will the game plan for Kedar be in Ankit's mind? We will find out with this delivery. Here he comes steaming in. Oh, that's a good ball here. Once again, very well bowled, but they scamper across for a single. A little bit of a hesitation from the fielder at third man. Oh, they don't. But this is excellent bowling. 11 balls bowled from Ankit. Just a single and a wicket. So this is excellent bowling from one end. The question is, can the Spartans keep that up from the other end? We did see Chintan going for 13 runs. Here's Ankit, who will hope to finish his second over on a high. Here he comes steaming in. Ankit to Kedar. And that's an excellent ball to finish the third over. End of 3 overs. The Roaring Tigers, 14 for the loss of 1 wicket. It's been a very, very good start from Ankit here. 2 overs, just 1 single conceded. Gets that wicket. Excellent bowling. Bowling according to the opponent that he is bowling to. Very well executed plans. And the field very well set as well. Got to give credit to the field placement. Dhawal taking strike for this over. He's currently unbeaten on 6 of 7 deliveries. And Chintan coming back. He will be looking to improve with his second over after bowling an expensive first over that included a no ball. They cannot afford any extras, can the Spartans, do they? And they will be very mindful of the fact that no extras will be the order of the day for them. Chintan to Dhawal. Here he comes. Starts off with a wide. We'll have to bowl that one again. There is a deep square leg. One fielder in the deep. Field restrictions. As we're still in the power play. 3 more overs to go. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Here comes Chintan once again. Dhawal on strike. And another wide by Chintan. Has not found his bearings. We'll have to find them and find them soon. Or else it'll be a case of too little too late. He cannot let the efforts of Ankit go to waste from the other end, who's bowled a tremendous spell of 2 overs. Chintan to Dhawal. Here he goes. Take 3. And that's a much better delivery here. Short. Bowling on good length. Rises after pitching. And comfortably gathered by the keeper. 16 for the loss of a wicket. 110 runs required. The run rate 6.5 required to win the game. Chintan finally gets a legitimate delivery off in this over. Here he comes once again. That's a good shot. Straight. And that's 4. Good shot this by Dhawal. Waited for the ball to come. And smashes it straight down the ground for 4. Brute force that. And now a few words of encouragement being offered to Chintan. He's not found his bearings throughout his spell so far. It's been a difficult outing for him. But expect him to cope up. Expect him, being the good bowler that he is, to come up with a comeback for this. Dhawal meanwhile gets on to double figures. 10 of 9. Kedar yet to open his account. Dhawal takes strike once again. That's a good shot. That's in the air. And wasn't able to get it. It was a very good effort by the fielder. The square leg came running in. But the sunlight was right in his eye line, was unable to get the catch. Good effort nonetheless. In the meantime, the batsman cross across for a single. It was in the air for a long time, but it was unfortunate that the sunlight, which is very strong and which is a very, very welcome addition, mind you, after the weeks of rain that we've had, unfortunate for the Spartans that they weren't able to get that second wicket. Here comes Chintan, and Kedar, right at the point of release, just moves away. Chintan will have to reload that. Here is Chintan to Kedar. That's a good ball. Good ball that. Much better line, much better length. Cramps himself up for room. Just about manages to put bat on ball. This Kedar. Here is Chintan. Chintan to Kedar, and that's another good ball. Not giving him enough room, keeping it stump to stump. That's 2 dot balls in a row. Much better this from Chintan. After conceding a boundary, the 3 balls have just gone for a single, and that'll be a welcome boost of confidence for Chintan, who's finally begun to find his bearings and finally bowl to the right plan set by his captain. Last ball of the 4th over. Chintan to Kedar, and that's full. Angling in. That's a single. So good end to the over. However, still 8 runs coming off it. 4 overs gone. 22 for the loss of 1 wicket, the Tigers. So the Spartans captain continuing to persist with Ankit from one end, who will bowl his 3rd over in this power play. Kedar on strike to facing Ankit, who has bowled 12 dot balls in his 13 deliveries. That's another, and that's a very good fielding effort there. Gets a single. Yep, gets a single, but that's an excellent fielding effort there. That is the fielding effort that is required to raise the spirits of the side. A small total to defend. Any run saved is gold dust at this point, and that's a good fielding effort there. Certainly saved more than a couple of runs for his side. Actually, did not get a single as well. So very good fielding effort. So that's another dot ball. Ankit to Kedar. There again. This time plays it well, glides it past 3rd man for a single. Kedar currently batting on 2 of 8. Dhawal 11 of 10. 23 for 1 the Tigers, chasing 126 to win. Ankit bowling to Dhawal. Oh, that's a well-directed bouncer. 1 for the over, says the umpire. That's a good bouncer. The first time we've seen any short pitch bowling here. It's a good, well-directed bouncer. Fast, short, furious. So Ankit firing on all cylinders, keeping the run scoring to a minimum in his bowling efforts. Here he comes once again. Dhaval on strike. Edged. Very, very close this. Dhaval very, very fortunate to not get a feather on that, because that was an excellent delivery. Beat him all ends up. Had to play at that. Not much he could do. Just save well bowled and focus on to the next delivery. Ankit to bowl the last ball of his third over. He's been excellent. Here he comes. That's full. And that is 2. We should get 2, and gets 2 rather comfortably. So 5 overs gone. 25 for the loss of 1 wicket. The Tigers. They need 101 more to win from 15 overs. 9 wickets in hand. Ankit completes his third over. 4 runs given. 1 wicket taken. Excellent spell this. Now, a bit of a conference by the Spartans to decide who will bowl this last over of the power play. This last over of the power play is very crucial, because the batting side will be well aware of the fact that the field will be spread after this over. So they will be looking to make the most out of these 6 balls to get as many runs as they can. And there is a bowling change. So Chintan is taken out of the attack. Mandar, the first change bowler for the Spartans. This is probably a big over in the context of the run chase, given that this is the final over of the power play. 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. The Tigers will be looking to make the most of this over, get as many runs as possible, to put a little bit of distance between them, giving them a comfortable cushion as they look to chase down this target. There is a long on, and here comes Mandar for his first ball. That's wide, but not given wide by the umpire, so that's a good start from Mandar there. Bowling just enough for the umpire to not call it a wide, and it's a good decision at the end of the day. Here's Mandar once again. Kedar on strike. Gives the charge, and that's gone. The second wicket falls down. Mandar strikes, and the Spartans well in this game. Kedar's laboured innings comes to an end. Kedar gave him a charge but failed to identify the pace. It was pace off this delivery, and the second wicket falls. The Roaring Tigers 25 for 2. Kedar has to depart. So the Spartans fighting back. Here we go. Pace off. Gives the charge but did not get any sort of timing on it whatsoever. And that's a comfortable grab there at mid-off. Spartans are in this game. The Spartans are fighting back. It is in the nature of the Spartans to fight back. And here they are, giving tooth and nail to their cause, defending this target of 125. In the meanwhile, the new batter walks into the crease. Vikrant to take strike. Vikrant marking his guard. now you can see there is a spring in the step of the Spartan fielders. They know that they are just one more wicket away from being well and truly back into this contest. Mandar to Vikrant. Oh, that is close. But glanced well for 4. Lovely way to get off the mark. Drifting a little bit to the pads. Mandar. Vikrant glances it beautifully off his pads, as you can see here. A little bit just too straight for his liking. Nicely glanced. No fielder at the deep at fine leg. Easy boundary there. Races away. It's not the follow-up delivery you would want after getting a wicket, but you take that on the chin and you move on. Here's Mandar. Vikrant to face it. That's a good ball. We'll get a single for that. Sweeper on the offside takes the ball. 30 for 2. Dhawal back on strike. He's playing at a runner ball 13. Vikrant, having gotten a boundary of his first ball, is on 5 of 2. Mandar to Dhawal now. Similar ball. There's once again straying on the pads, and he just about manages to avoid the boundary there. Good fielding effort, but 2 runs taken. Leg by signaled by the umpire. Needs to bowl a little more straighter, because this is easy pickings for the batsman, bowling onto the legs. Cannot afford to give these freebies at this stage, especially after you've taken a wicket. Your team's shoulders are up, there's a spring in the step, and then it's a little difficult to comprehend, but can only learn. Here's Mandar once again. That's nicely hit. Nice shot for 1. So we come to the end of the power play. 6 overs gone. 33 for the loss of 2 wickets. It's a decent power play for both sides. The Spartans will be happy that they've taken 2 wickets in the power play after some good bowling in tandem. Meanwhile, the Tigers will be comfortable with the position that they find themselves in, given that the required run rate is still gettable. .93 required from 14 overs. A required run rate of 6.64. They're going at a run rate of 5.5 at this stage. But a couple of big overs can surely tilt the scales in their favor, and that is exactly what the Spartans will want to avoid. Not giving them those big overs, not giving them those boundaries and clusters. So that is why Anand is the new bowling change for the Spartans. And as you know now, it's the end of the power play, so the field will be spread. There is a long on, a long off. A deep square leg. Sweeper cover. Deep extra cover, that is, on the offside. Here comes Anand. Bit of a flight. Oh, that's a lovely start first up. Beautiful ball that. Deceptive. Beating Dhawal all ends up. More of the same, please. is what the Spartans will say to Anand. Here he comes. And gone! That's a brilliant delivery there. Dhawal has to depart. That's the third wicket gone. And what a start for Anand this. Gets a wicket. They are well and truly back in this game. 33 for 3, the Tigers. Dhawal has to depart. Similar ball to the first one, but this time keeps it in line of the stumps. And that is a classic case of you miss, I hit, buddy. And that is exactly what has happened. The Spartans have their tails up now. Straight, flight, deceived, swing and a miss, hits the top of off. The fight back is well and truly on here. 33 for 3. New batsman walks into the middle. This cluster of wickets now suddenly calls for a bit of a consolidation period now for the Tigers. They look to rotate strike. The onus should be on building a partnership because the target is still very much achievable, mind you, despite the 3 wickets that they have lost. One partnership is all it needs. Sundaresh, the new batsman in. Anand with his tail up. Here he comes. That's flighted well. And Sundaresh gets off the mark. So Anand flighting that delivery here. After bowling it quicker in the air, quicker through the air in the first 2 balls, gives this a little bit of flight. And Sundaresh gets off the mark. Vikrant. There's Anand. Spin as well. That's given a wide, but Anand will be very pleased with what he's seen there with the ball gripping and turning. Here comes Anand once again. It's a good ball. Gets a single there. There's Vikrant. Bounce on offer as well. So it's bowling a little quicker to the air as far as Vikrant is concerned. With Sandesh on strike, let's see what his approach will be. Sundaresh gives it. Oh, it's a big appeal here. Not out, says the umpire. That was another brilliant delivery. Gives the ball a little bit of flight. Beats Sundaresh. All ends up just above the stumps. Oh, that's a lovely delivery. Rather unfortunate that he's not gotten a wicket there. But that will surely put a question mark in the mind of the batsman because that has turned. What if the next one keeps straight? Will he play for the turn or will he play for a straighter one? There is doubt in the mind now. Anand is turning on the screw here. Here he comes. Again, solid front foot defense here. Excellent and a very eventful over this. 7 overs gone. 36 for 3. The Tigers. The introduction of a spinner in Anand has well and truly lightened up this contest. Anand using all his tricks up his sleeve, gets the wicket and puts in a question in the minds of the batsmen with grip and turn as well. So Anand getting enough purchase from the wicket. Very, very interesting to see what the next bowling change will be. And it is Abhishek V who is the new bowler. Spin in the attack. There is a long off. There is a long on. There is a deep square leg whose Yes, there is a deep square leg as well. More spin into the attack. They've seen Anand's first over. And now they know that they have the matchup to exploit. Abhishek taking time to set his field. And here he comes for his first ball. Vikrant on strike. Flights it. Enough time for Vikrant to play it, but that's a quick and very good single there. This is what is needed. Not too many dot balls. Just keep the scoreboard ticking. Singles and doubles will do the job for a certain point. But you cannot keep the scoreboard stagnant. You cannot play dot ball after dot ball. And that is exactly what both batsmen know, and they're doing it well. Sundaresh on strike now. And that is well wide. We'll have to bowl that one again, Abhishek. Again, they need to calm down with the extras. They cannot afford to give extras, wides, no balls. They just can't. Abhishek once again. Giving flight, gives the charge, but only get a single for that. So the keeping things tight here are the Spartans. Vikrant on strike once again. That's given. It's in the air. And that is all the way for 6. Lovely strike from Vikrant. This a much needed boundary for the Tigers. Seem to be going nowhere and out of the blue. That's a lovely, lovely strike there. Right over the bowler's head for 6. Half volley. Gives the charge. Goes for the full Monty over the bowler's head for 6. Here he comes. And well fielded. And that's a... Oh, no. There's yes, no, and poor throw. Poor throw. A better throw, and that would have been wicket number 4. And words being exchanged by the batsman there. Surely no run there. But somehow they get a run. No wicket lost. Would have been a catastrophic way to go. But they live to survive. Sundaresh on strike. Good shot. And that's 4. Pierces the gap between the two fielders. Drives and drives well. This was the over that the Tigers were looking for. 50 comes up. Lovely strike. It looked like the fielders had it under control, but the timing on that ball was superb. That it bisected the two fielders. Goes to the boundary. 14 runs of this over. One more ball to go. Expensive over this in the context of the game. This was the over that the Tigers needed, and they have got it. Flighted. And that goes for 4 as well. That's another boundary. 18 runs coming off this over. 54 for 3. The Tigers require 72 from 12 overs at exactly a run a ball. Not the over that the Spartans would have wanted. A 6, 2 boundaries, and 4 singles. 18 runs coming off this over. They should have had a wicket had the throw been better and at the right end. But here they are, left to lick their wounds. Anand coming in for his second over. This is more of a damage control exercise here now, because the 18-run over that came previously has given them a much needed cushion now. So they can take a play out Anand if they choose to. That's been given as a wide. Anand will have to bowl that one again. 55 for 3 after 8 overs. Here comes Anand. Gives it the flight. Gets a single. Sundaresh, 10 of 6. Vikrant, 15 of 7. It's a good little cameo of a partnership all of a sudden here. Anand goes for the reverse. The umpire gives it a wide. It's premeditated by Sundaresh, but then finds himself tangled a bit. Eventually decides not to go through with the shot. And rightly so, because it was given a wide. Here comes Anand once again. Again, in two minds whether to play or leave. Ends up leaving just in the nick of time here. It's just does Sundaresh. Anand bowling once again. Played late to the fielder at short third. No run there. Anand to Sundaresh once again. Gives himself a little bit of room. Takes the aerial route. Gets a single. Good looking shot. Just not able to get it through that fielder at long off. Will still take the single though. As long as the runs come, shouldn't be much of a problem. Roaring Tigers. Anand now bowling to Vikrant. Plays it late. Plays it to that fielder at deep extra. Gets a single. Score moves on to 59 for the loss of 3 wickets. They're going at a run of ball. Not much of risk to be taken at this point. That is the cushion that 18 run over provided to the Tigers at this stage of the match. 1 over is all it takes. Here comes Anand again to finish his second over. Solid in defense. End of 9 overs. 59 for 3. The Tigers need 67 of 11 overs. Chasing 126 after the Spartans were bundled out for 125. Losing all their 10 wickets in the process. Abhinav S, the new bowler, coming in to bowl. Vikrant to face Abhinav. Going well at 16 of 8 deliveries. A strike rate of 200. 4 and a 6. Here comes Abhinav. That's been given as a wide. Score goes on to 60 for the loss of 3 wickets. 9 overs done. 11 overs to go. 66 required for the Roaring Tigers. Spartans need to pull things back. Swing and a miss. Well taken by the keeper there. Abhinav S. Here he comes. Good ball. Well played as well. stopped at the deep for a single. Sundaresh on strike now as he faces Avinav for the first time. Here he goes. Good ball this. Oh, beautifully played. That's gone all the way, has it? Yes, it has. Beautifully pulled. Short length. No invitation. Swivel of the hips. And out she goes out of the park. 6 runs. Good batting this from Sundaresh. Moves on to 17 of 11. Oh, that was close. That was very, very close indeed. Looking for the paddle sweep. Did not get the connection, and he was lucky to see the ball not crash into his stumps. To Sundaresh. 67 for 3. Oh, another swing and a miss this. They've got the boundary of the over. That was not the time to be cheeky or play out of the box cricket. You have the situation under control. Sundaresh. Here comes Abhinav S for his last ball of the first over. Played well. Gets a single. So halfway through with the second innings, the Roaring Tigers are 68 for 3. It's time for a drink. 58 required at the final 10 overs. 7 wickets in hand. Safe to say that the Roaring Tigers will be impressed with the situation that they find themselves in. See you right back after this drinks break. So here we are. Everyone's fresh, everyone's hydrated, everyone's had time, a minute or two to gather their thoughts, especially the Spartans, to go about defending the 58 runs that they have in the bank to avoid defeat. Ankit to bowl out. He's been excellent, and they've brought him in at this stage because the captain knows that they need a wicket here at this critical juncture, and he's brought in his best bowler to provide him with that breakthrough. Can Ankit deliver on his captain's expectations? He's delivered so far, but this is where it matters the most. He's been excellent, giving away just 4 runs in his 3 overs and getting a wicket as well. But this is the crunch time. This over could probably make or break this entire game. Sundaresh facing Ankit. Here he goes. Good ball. Gets a single. I think even the Tigers are aware of the fact that this is probably the last throw of the dice by the Spartans, bringing on their best bowler. So they will be mindful of the fact that all they need to do at this stage is play him out. Not try anything silly, not try anything fancy and extravagant, and they will be home and hose. Here comes Ankit. 5 balls left. What does he have up his sleeve? Vikrant facing Ankit. That is well above the head of Vikrant, and that is rightfully given a wide. 1 for the over called as well. He bowled a similar short pitch delivery in his previous over, but he got away with that one. Wasn't going to get away with this particular instance. Still 5 balls left. Ankit to continue. Ankit to Vikrant. Here he goes. Another short ball, and that is a no ball. Second bouncer of the over, and that's a free hit. So even the ever-reliable Ankit now showing signs of vulnerability. The pressure getting to him, the pressure getting to the Spartans. And now Vikrant has a tantalizing prospect of a free hit waiting for him. All working well in plan for the Tigers now. Here comes Ankit. Oh, Vikrant walking already, giving him the charge, and swings and misses. All rather anticlimactic here. Vikrant walking, giving the charge to Ankit, who was not even halfway through his run-up. Trying to play mind games with the bowler, but the bowler not falling into the trap. Bowling his line and length. Gets a dot ball. 71 for 3. The Tigers. 55 runs required. Here comes Ankit. Vikrant on strike. Full. Lucky. Gets an inside edge, but scamper across for a single. Goes off strike. Sundaresh now to face Ankit. 3 deliveries more. 8 runs for a wicket. 3 more balls for Ankit to make a difference. 3 more balls for Ankit to have a final say in this contest so far. Here he comes. Ball number 4. Sundaresh on strike. Flicks it nicely on that leg side. Only a single. So smart batting this by both batsmen. Haven't tried anything extravagant. The only time they did was in the knowledge that there was a free hit. So it wouldn't make much of a difference if they hit or they miss. Vikrant facing Ankit. What does Vikrant have in his mind now? Here comes Ankit. Oh, tries the uppercut. Hopeful appeal, but nothing doing. 1 ball more. Ankit has bowled excellently so far. Just 9 runs conceded and only a wicket taken. Could have been more, but still add to his tally. 1 ball left. 1 ball. Vikrant to take strike. Setting his field. Taking his time. Wants the field just the way he wants it. Vikrant on strike facing Ankit. And that's a good ball. Sets off quickly. Comfortable single there. So Ankit finishes his spell. Brilliantly bowled this. 4 overs, 10 runs, just a wicket. But the Tigers have done the right thing here. They've played out their Spartans' best bowler. And now they have a much, much better chance of emerging victors of this game. Although it isn't over until is it over. 52 runs required in the 9 overs. The run rate is below 6, 5.78. 74 for 3, the Tigers. Vikrant, 20 of 16 deliveries, whereas Sundaresh, I beg your pardon, is on 20 of 16 deliveries, while Vikrant is on 19 of 15 deliveries. So Sundaresh has overtaken Vikrant despite coming later. New bowler setting his field. A little animated while doing so. Abhinav S. Bowl a decent first over. 9 runs. No wicket. Will be looking to improve on those figures and hopefully get a wicket or two along the way. Here's Abhinav S. Bowling to Vikrant. Oh, that's hit his pad. Looked to be going down the leg side until it hit him on the thighs. Scamper across for a leg bye. Score moves on to 75 now. 75 for 3. Oh, that's been given as runs. That's hit the bat. I beg your pardon. Abhinav. Bowling to Sundaresh. Has to reload that one again, Abhinav. So here we go. Abhinav to Sundaresh. Bowls it outside the off stump. Swing and miss. Tried to play the cut. Too slow for that. Got into his shot a little early. Did Sundaresh. A dot ball. Abhinav S. Bowling to Sundaresh once again. Oh, that's nicely played. But there's a fielder there. Oh, just about manages to get. It's a single. Played the paddle well, but smart field placement to keep the fine leg finer rather than square. Well aware of the fact that he did attempt a paddle sweep in an over before. Good game awareness this. Vikrant on strike. Oh, that's lovely. That's a sweet sound of the bat, and that's gone. Gone out of the stands for 6. You knew from the sound that it generated the moment the ball hit the bat that was going just one way, and that was out of the park. Full in the slot. No second invitations needed for Vikrant. That's 6. And the score moves on to 82 for 3. 44 required now for the Tigers. They're well and truly on their way. Abhinav bowling to Vikrant once again. Oh, he's gone! The perfect riposte. Stumps disturbed. That is the bowler's love language. That is the bowler's most favorite sound. Seeing the stumps go for a walk. And just after conceding a 6, Abhinav comes back in the most perfect way. Look at this delivery once again. Bowls it. Not much of room. No chance that the ball was there to be cut. Sees his leg stump go out of the ground. And that's the 4th wicket gone. Vikrant was looking good, but has to depart. The Tigers 82 for 4. Still in with a prayer. The Spartans still in with a prayer. Still 44 runs required. 6 wickets in hand for the Tigers. Anybody's game. Anybody's game this. The new batsman coming in is Yogesh. Had a good outing with the ball. Picking up 2 wickets. Let's see his contribution with the bat. We'll need a decent contribution from him with the bat. Its target still some way away. 44 runs needed. 6 wickets in hand. 49 balls left to play. Here's Abhinav. Full of confidence after that wicket. Nicely defended. No run. So that's the end of the 12th over. The Roaring Tigers 82 for 4. The equation pretty simple for both sides. 44 runs needed for the Tigers. 6 wickets needed for the Spartans. New bowler in. I believe that's Anand. Waiting for confirmation. Discussion between the bowler and the captain as far the field set that he wants. There's a deep square leg. There is a long on. There is a long off. The fine leg is come up in the circle. Yes, it is Anand who will bowl. Here he comes. Yogesh on, and that's a huge appeal and given. That's wicket number 5. And the Spartans are right back into this contest. Went for the reverse sweep. Misses it completely. Hitting him smack bang in front of the stumps. The umpire instantly raising his finger. And half their side. The Tigers have lost half their side. We are in for a cracking contest here, folks. Yes, that looks plumb. That is plumb. Sundaresh has to depart now. So both set batsmen departing in the space of 2 overs. And now the Spartans well and truly into this contest. Anand picks up his 2nd wicket. All it needed was this wicket. This could potentially be the turning point of this game. Chitranjan coming in, the new batsman for the Tigers. The Spartans sniff blood. And we all know what happens when the Spartans sniff blood. They are fighting back tooth and nail. They want this victory badly. The Tigers want this victory badly. It is a question of who makes the lesser mistakes and who keeps their head in what is turning out to be a crucial situation in this match. As you can see, there is discussions between the bowler and the keeper. There is a trap being laid. There is a trap being set. How are the Tigers going to cope from here? What is Anand going to do next? There is a spring in his step. He's got a wicket of the very first ball of this over. The pressure is on the batting side. It is time to hammer that advantage home. The Spartans know that. Here is Anand. Chittaranjan on strike. Anand flights it a full toss. Chittaranjan gets off the mark. Anand should be rather fortunate that this did not go for anything more than a single. Yogesh on strike now. Anand coming back over the wicket to the right-hander. Here he comes. Gives the ball a little bit of a flight, but Yogesh plays it nicely down the ground for a single. That brings Chittaranjan back on strike, and Anand, as is the norm, goes around the wicket to the left-hander. Here is Anand bowling to Chittaranjan. Darting it quicker through the air, hits it straight, and that is 4. Goes through the legs of the fielder. It seemed that the fielder had it under control, but not to be. Just when it felt that the screws were being tightened on by the Tigers, they get a much needed boundary here. Look at the fielder had it under control until it didn't. Goes through his hands, through the boundary. 88 for 5. Goes the aerial route, and that is 4 as well. Back-to-back boundaries. Chittaranjan turning on the heat here. Score moves to the 90s, 92 for 5. This was full in the slot. Nicely hit. Power, precision, timing, all in one. Gets 4 for it. 92 for 5. 34 needed of 43. Anand to bowl his last ball of the third over. Attempts the single, does Chittaranjan, but does not go anywhere close to completing it. So the end of 13 overs. 13 overs gone. The Tigers, 92 for 5. Chittaranjan's cameo in the previous over means that once again there is a bit of a cushion being created despite losing a wicket of that first ball. The Tigers ended that over on the high with the scales tilted in their favour. It's Abhinav now coming to bowl his third over. Yogesh on strike. 34 runs required in 7 overs. Under 5 runs an over required. They're going at a comfortable 7.08. The run rate doesn't matter at this point. They need to get the target. Yogesh plays it well off the back foot. Does not get a run for it though, but that was a good looking shot. Played it nicely. Got it off the middle of the bat. Won't mind that though. Won't mind it as long as it is hitting the middle of the bat. Gives the batsman the impression that they are in control of proceedings. Here is Abhinav. Gives it the charge. This time misses. Good ball that. Full length. Bowling it on the tram line. Yogesh was looking to give Abhinav the charge, but found the ball a little too full for his liking. Abhinav. Oh, that's a lovely shot. That is beautiful. Hold that pose, Abhinav. That is 6. That is 6. Stylish, elegant, classic. You name the adjective and this shot is it. Gives it. Look at that. Beautiful. Off the middle of the bat. Hold that pose up enough. That is lovely. Yogesh. Beautiful, beautiful shot this from Yogesh. Brings that score ever more close to the target. 98 for 5. Yogesh on 7. That's a lovely shot from Yogesh. Again, takes the aerial route. And that finds the fence as well. The 100 comes up for the Tigers. 102 for 5. Yogesh turning on the style. A straight 6. And now a classic shot. Driving it through the covers for 102 for 5. 24 needed now. Two back-to-back classy strokes from Yogesh, who's turning it on. Abhinav to Yogesh. Again takes the aerial route, but this time there is protection there, so just a single. Brings Chittaranjan on strike, who himself started this by hitting 2 boundaries back-to-back in the previous over. Abhinav now. For the Spartans at this point, it is all about damage control. They will obviously be looking to get wickets, but they have less runs in the bank to defend. 23 needed. Here is Abhinav to Chittaranjan. Oh, that's a good ball. But gets an easy single, and they're looking for 2 and they get it. Where is the fielder? Miscommunication there. And what was to be a routine single ends up being a couple of runs, given his leg bias, but 2 runs nevertheless. 105 for 5 after 14 overs. 21 required of 6 overs. And safe to say that the Roaring Tigers are in the driver's seat at the moment. 5 wickets in the shed. Left yet. 21 runs required. Yogesh on strike. Anand to bowl his last over. Here comes Anand. Bowl his last over. He's gone 18 and taken 2 wickets. Yogesh on strike. Here's Anand. Gives it a little bit of flight. Gets a single there. Should be a single. It is a single. 20 required now for the Tigers. Just a few hits away from victory. Roaring Tigers. Here comes Anand. Chittaranjan on strike this time. Oh, that's lovely. In the air. Is that a boundary? Yes, it is a boundary. In the air, the fielder failed to judge it, and that has gone to the boundary rope for 4. 110 now, just 16 required for the victory for the Roaring Tigers. And now you can see shoulders beginning to drop, the Spartans. They were there in the game, but 2 big overs. And now it seems like the Tigers are in the driver's seat. And that's another big shot in the air. Get 2. Couple of runs more added to the total. 112 for 5. The Tigers chasing 126. 14 required now. They're just 2 hits away, are the Tigers. Anand to bowl. Chittaranjan on strike. Goes for the slog sweep. And that finds the boundary. That is 4. Rocks back. Connects beautifully. Finds the gap between the 2 fielders. And goes to the boundary for 4. 10 runs needed now. More than 5 overs to go. Even Anand has been taken to the cleaners now. Anand to Chittaranjan. Takes a single. Smart cricket here. They know the job's almost done. Don't need to do anything silly. 9 runs required. 117 for 5. 1 more ball for Anand's spell to complete. 30 runs, 2 wickets taken. Started well, but the last 2 overs have been expensive for Anand. Got carted for a 6 and 4 in the previous over, and now 2 boundaries taken off. Yogesh was on the sidelines for a while, but now part of the action. Here he comes. Anand to Yogesh. Tries to take the aerial route himself. Will get a single. So 15 overs gone. The Roaring Tigers are 118 for 5. They need 8 runs more with 5 overs in hand and 5 wickets in hand. It's a job well done for the Tigers so far. They did lose wickets in a couple of sticky situations, but one partnership and a couple of big hits swaying the tide decisively in their favour. Malhar, the new bowler. Bowling change. Malhar to bowl his first over of the game. Eight runs required. 8 runs required for the Tigers to register what is a professional performance. Here he comes. Yogesh on strike for Malhar. Hits it towards cover. There is protection there at the deep at long off. Just a single. 7 runs needed. Chittaranjan on strike. This is a golden opportunity for him to finish things off in style. Malhar. Chittaranjan facing Malhar. Here he goes. That's well fielded there. For all intents and purposes, that looked like a boundary, but that was excellent fielding. Keeps it down to a single. The ball itself was pretty wayward, well down the leg side. There was a chance for Chittaranjan to swing his arms, and swing his arms he did. Except for brilliant fielding intervention there. Stopped a certain boundary. Malhar to Yogesh. Yogesh in the air and finishes things off in style. That's 6 and that's the game. Or is it? And that's the end. A commanding performance by the Roaring Tigers, who end up victors by 5 wickets. A professional bowling performance restricting the Spartans to 125, and then an equally polished performance with the bat sees them win the game by 5 wickets with more than 4 overs in the bank. Some sparkling big hits by Yogesh and Chittaranjan towards the end, adding gloss to what has been a commanding performance by the Tigers. As far as the Spartans go, they will look back. They had their moments with both the bat and ball. But it was a case of what could have been for the Spartans as they go down with a valiant fight though. Credit to their bowling performance and their fielding performance as well. but was not to be. We have come to the end of this contest. The GE Roaring Tigers win by 5 wickets in this DATS Premier League encounter. I have been Delvin, your commentator for the day. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye for now. We'll see you in the next game.